Hi, I'm Adriana Galinek, your embodiment and relationship coach, and this is my podcast. I spend most of my time reconnecting relationships, diving deep between the land of energy, and helping those couples, ignite that spark back in the bedroom. This podcast is for the universal, spellbinding people who love a little woo-woo and the thunder of truth. You're listening to Love, Sex, and Energy. Let's jump in. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Love, Sex, and Energy. I'm your host, Adriana Galinek, and today we're talking about energy in the bedroom. Ooh, energy in the bedroom. And how do we create that energy? Now, let's break that down. Well, we've spoken a lot about energy and how that frequency works around energy and what you bring. But what happens when there is nothing? What happens when there is nothing? Zero, not, noth, zero, nada, nicht, nothing. So just imagine, or let's not imagine, because some of you out there might be in this position where you love each other dearly, but there's just nothing happening. Forget it. And how do we bring that energy? The first step that I would suggest is to consciously bring awareness to the energy. That means consciously you are aware of this energy, that nothing is happening, and you need to speak to your partner about this. And you have to be mindful that it does not become a blaming game, right? And it's not necessarily that you just want the intimacy in the bedroom, the sex, which is the outcome. It's about the pre-work. It's about learning how to even get started before that actually happens. And that is as simple as being open, vulnerable, expressing yourself. And if you're thinking, oh my God, there is no such way we would even talk about that stuff, well, then you can initiate some of the things and some of the language behind it, such as if your partner loves, if you haven't heard of it, of love languages, go and do that. Highly recommend it. It would definitely help you with the direction of where you're going in your relationship. But start slow. Start with asking them to go out for a walk with you. Because you have to make sure you understand that if you are working on yourself and you're shifting and lifting your vibration and your frequency is lifting because you're creating change, they're going to notice. They're going to notice, and somehow you're going to feel like they're falling behind. And if you love them dearly and don't want them to fall behind, invite them. Invite them for a walk, and if they don't want to come, you still do it. When we're talking about two people being on the same page of reconnecting, but we just don't know how to create that spark, it's a really great idea if you two could stand in front of each other. So imagine standing in front of each other, you are nose to nose, body to body, and you are to stand there for 3 minutes, put a timer on, literally put a timer on, and see what your body is doing. Are you refusing the energy that you are giving? So what does that mean? If you are standing up with your partner and you somehow tend to feel awkward looking into his eyes or finding it a bit giggly, or you might lean back, that's your body naturally telling you there's something happening here that's not in sync. Because when we're embracing one another, you want to embrace each other and hold each other and really exchange that energy of love, right? So this is a quick test to see for yourself and for himself where you guys at. Because if you're awkward doing that, the chemistry and connection for you in the bedroom is just going to be the outcome, which is the sex, which is the orgasm at the end, if there's any, rather than the intimacy that you're creating and the energy that you're exchanging between each other so that it's vibrant and electric. The tantra between the energy, the frequency, the movement, and all that kind of stuff is so much more than the actual doing. And when you step into consciously identifying where you're at, like, I want that, but I don't know how to get that. I know how to do this, but I want it to be a lot more fun. And if you're at that, I want it to be a lot more fun stage, start by doing something as simple as that. And have a chat. like, oh, that was a bit weird, or that was a bit odd, or that was so good. I love the way you looked at me, or I could really hear your breath. I could feel your breathing. So it's very powerful, right? It's very powerful. There's so many things that come out of that little experiment that will give you a lot to talk about. And it would give you a lot to understand and to really deepen a little bit closer. So what would you do when you've got that information and just say you're a little bit awkward and it's like, okay, I'm going to bed now. When you start learning what your partner likes, doing your love languages, you might want to encourage the simple touch. You know, if he's on one side of the couch and you're always in the other because that's your routine, the robotic life, consciously pick yourself up, even when you're bloody exhausted, and move over and snuggle in next to him. He might look at you and go, what the heck? And might not say nothing at all and just continue as he's doing, because he's also building trust with you. Because when you're overworked and you're exhausted and you're doing everything else, and this all links to your feminine and masculine energy on both sides, you start becoming robots. And then it's really hard for you guys to connect. What is real? What isn't it? Is she on or is she off? And, you know, as women, we do not like predictability in the bedroom. If you're a man listening out there, we do not like it the same way every time, right? So what do I mean by that? I might be like, yeah, but I'm really good, which I've heard. Like, yeah, you might be great. You might be an absolute stallion, but that's not what we're looking for. When us women spend so much time doing, thinking, organizing, working, by the time we get to our bedroom stage, we don't want a bar of it. We don't want, oh, here we go. He's going to tap me on the shoulder or whatever your moves are. It's Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. It's the same thing every time. It's almost like clocking in and you're clocking off. There's no fun. There's no spontaneousness. There's no excitement. And it doesn't have to be crazy. And I think out of all these things, simplicity is the best. Keep it simple. So men out there or women out there, keep it simple, right? Think about if you've got your normal routine that it's at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday because it's the end of your week and you're recharged. Think about a Saturday night. Think about how you're going to court the person that you want to sleep with. Think about the simple touch. Do they like to be touched? And it's really funny because the groups that I've worked with so far, the women don't like to be touched. Like, just get off me. But when they're in bed, they definitely want to be touched. They want that man handling. And I think based on what they do for work, if they're so masculine energy, do, think, they don't want to be the man in the bed. They want to be submissive. Right? They want to be taken. They want to be thrown on that bed and handled with. And it's really interesting to see the different waves. And some people are like, oh my gosh, don't talk about that. That's so shh. But there is so much inner monologue that's actually happening. Even when you're not connected with your partner, you'd be like, oh my God, can you just hurry up so we can be done with? Like, let's move on. And that energy, they can feel it. So if you think that you're really good at masking the energy, crap. And that's what starts creating the separation. That's what starts going, oh, it's the same thing. How, oh my gosh, you know? And that's obviously over time. I'm not talking about people who've just madly fallen in love and everything's amazing and they're like Duracell rabbits going off all the time. So we're talking about people who have been in their relationship quite a while. How do we get that spark back? Right? How do we get that going off? When you've done that, you know, that first step of initially looking at each other and you've done some work together, it's really awesome to go back and do it again and see what happens after 6 weeks, 12 weeks. It becomes so exciting because you start noticing the change. Another great one is when you are lying in bed and allowing your partner to slowly but gently stroking your body. It could be your arm, it could be your hand, it could be very playful and soft. See how your body reacts to that. You don't always have to go into the intimacy straight away. It's about building the intimacy. It's about building the trust and the excitement Like, oh, that's a little bit different. Or what about when you are washing the dishes or putting something away and he slowly comes around and touches you on the neck or your butt? You know, I had another guy, which is really lovely. He said, yeah, I actually pushed myself against her on purpose, but didn't give her more than that, and walked away, and I did that whole head check and she was into it, which is great because they're starting to loosen up a little bit and creating that energy. I want you, but let's just stretch that want energy. Let's just stretch that out a little bit, the anticipation of wanting it, right? And this all takes time with communication, with feeling good about yourself, with what is it that you want? What does that look like for you? And that's why it's so important. Doing the embodiment work is when you are aligned with who you are and your vibrations and where you're going and how that feels for you. What does that look like for you? How you show up as a person every single day. That will change the transmission into the bedroom. It would literally charge and change where you go, oh, this is a little bit different. I'm changing, but it doesn't match the frequency in the room. So creating that and vice versa for themselves. That's why it's so important to work on yourselves. And if you're looking for something like that, please reach out. Yeah, we need a bit of help with that. Let me know. Happy to help. And I'd love to say that there is like a one-stop shop answer, like just do this and this equals this. If you do this, this equals that. So masculine. Feel, connect, encourage, try something different. Be playful. Women particularly, when we're closed up and our hearts are shut because we're not open, you're not opening your heart to being vulnerable and to love and to other experiences. If you're not doing that, why would you do it in the bedroom? So you're almost anticipating the answer that it's going to be not so fun because you've already proven that you're not doing anything to change yourself or to do anything else, and this is just something that he needs. Rubbish. Women need it just as much as men. Be open, be playful, be flirty, be sexy, change what you're wearing, connect, feel, go have fun, go dance, go listen to music, maybe put music in the bedroom, light some candles, do something different, change that frequency, change the experience, because if we're doing the same thing, you're only going to get the same thing. Right? So change it. Change the frequency, change what you're doing, change the connection, and be consciously aware that this is something that you need to do, that you are equally responsible for what comes into the bedroom. And if you're saying, forget it, it's just easier not to, is that the kind of life that you want to live? Are you okay with not experiencing the bliss of exchanging sexual energy with your partner? And I find that as you get older and things change, we tend to change what we're after, or we're always seeking for something different or something better. But something better, it doesn't actually mean it is actually better. It's still the same shit. It's just that you feel better about yourself. So therefore you look for other things to make yourself equally. Like, I feel great. But if you're not doing the work within yourself, it becomes the same thing. So work on yourself. Love who you are and really allow your heart to open, to expand. And that's where your energy wants to go. So if you're concentrating on being amazing in the bedroom, open that heart. You worked on yourself, now you're ready to expand. Now you want to work that with your partner because you just love them endlessly. And you know that you had a really good thing. And now it's just a little bit stale. A bit of stale bread. But you can always get it back to where it was. You just need to be vocal about it and actually say, hey, I love you, my person. You are my person. But let's just work on this. I think that we're a little bit stale. What do you think? And listen, be a bit more playful. It's not like, this is shit. Our sex life is crap. Because imagine how that would make you feel if he said something like that to you. To be mindful about making them feel loved, but say, hey, would you be open to doing some of this work? plan an adventure. Go and do something exciting. Hopefully that's given you some insight about, energy in the bedroom and how you can approach these things in different way. And of course, there's different traumas and life experiences and hurt and all this stuff. But if you're choosing to sit in that energy, you'll always get what you're getting. If you choose to create a shift for yourself and go, this is my year, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to shift this energy, I'm going to make it the best year of my life, then that changes the frequency and what you bring as well. So thank you so much for listening for another episode of Love, Sex and Energy. Till next time, shine bright. Bye. And that's it for another episode of Love, Sex and Energy. Connect on all socials at Adriana Galinek. Hit the follow button, share with friends, and if you have some time, write a review. As they say, the energy flows in universal ways, so always remember to shine bright. Till next time, see ya.